I was in Manipur, that this is the land that held the first democratic elections in the history of India. The first universal adult franchise-based elections were held first in Manipur, then in the rest of the country, much later. That the Prime Minister of this country has not found half a day to visit Manipur. He has in the meanwhile covered, I think, about 19 countries he has visited so far. Indian nationalism is not about one country, one language, one race, one religion, one culture. No. Let the government do what it does. Let the government not do what it is not doing. Because I really have no hope from this government any. Honorable former Chief Minister Ibobi Singh ji, all the friends from different parts of Manipur here at this dais. I seek permission to speak in English so that some bits of this voice might reach Manipur. Friends, I am here to share your anguish, your pain. I am here to offer an apology, and I am here to join you all in making an appeal. I was in Manipur, and anyone who has traveled in Manipur cannot ever forget that this is the land that held the first democratic elections in the history of India. The first universal adult franchise-based elections were held first in Manipur, then in the rest of the country, much later. This is the land which has had a Chief Minister, Rishan Keshanji, who was from a minority, perhaps one of the longest serving Chief Ministers from a minority community in any state in India. This is a land that has offered so many icons in sports, in culture to this country. When I went to Manipur last year as a part of the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, I simply cannot forget those scenes. It was evening, we were driving through Imphal, hundreds of women were holding torches. I saw anguish in their eyes. I also saw some hope. Hundreds of women holding those torches. Sir, I cannot forget it. There was so much anguish and also a glimmer of hope in their eyes. Next day, we were in Churchandpur. I, for the rest of my life, cannot forget the fear, the pain, the anguish, and yet a possibility of hope that I saw among thousands of people there as well. Having witnessed that pain on both sides, at least I, as an Indian, cannot take sides. For me, every pain is a real pain. I'm here to share your anguish, sirs and my friends, that the Prime Minister of this country has not found half a day to visit Manipur. He has in the meanwhile covered, I think, about 19 countries he has visited so far, ever since the strife began in Manipur. But he found no time to visit Manipur. A few days ago, I was with someone in the BJP. I rarely meet people from the BJP, but I happened to meet one person. I asked him just one question. I know we disagree on everything, but tell me, why has the Prime Minister not gone to Manipur? Other things we will disagree, doesn't matter. Just answer this one question. He said, पता नहीं क्यों personal ego का सवाल बना लिया है उन्होंने. This was exactly the answer from someone from BJP. Personal ego? About 60,000 people who are made to live outside their homes for months and months. Personal ego about a civil war that is taking place in this country. I cannot think of any other part of this country where you would have this kind of a war and the government would not have intervened. In Haryana in 2016, sir, we had a problem for 4 days. There was arson, rioting and so on. Within 4 days, the entire media of this country was focused on Haryana. The government the army was being sent, everything was settled after the 5th day. It simply cannot happen. The one thing I remember speaking to both sides in Manipur, everyone said, if Delhi wanted, it could have been controlled in 48 hours. Clearly, they do not want it. I share your pain. I share your anguish. I'm also here to apologize because this country is not just the government of this country. Yes, there is government. Yes, there is central government. Yes, there is state government. But finally, the custodian of the Constitution is us, we the people. And I must say, with deep pain and deep sense of shame, that we, the people outside Manipur, who had the first duty to intervene, who had the first duty to say, Manipur's pain is my pain, Manipur's tragedy is my tragedy. On the whole, this country has failed. We have failed to make the pain and the tragedy of Manipur as if it was our own pain, our own tragedy. And for this, I can only offer an unconditional apology. I really feel very ashamed of it when I see those images coming from Manipur and us sitting comfortably in Delhi. Something is seriously wrong with us as a nation, as a country, that all of us who come here for Jantar Mantar, all of us who protest for all kinds of things, all of us who march and do various things in this country, we could have done much, much more than we have done. And with folded hands, I offer unconditional apology to my friends, my co-citizen in Manipur, that the rest of the country has not really lived up to what it should have done. All I can say is, my friends, this is not what Indian nationalism is about. Indian nationalism is not about one country, one language, one race, one religion, one culture. No. This is Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravid, Utkal, Banga. Everything has a place. Without Manipur, India is incomplete. This is the vision of India that we inherited. I'm sorry we've let it down, but this is not our nationalism. And these people occupying positions of power in Delhi do not represent India. India is much more than that, and I hope and sincerely believe that we can demonstrate in coming years and days that India is much more than what the government of this country is. And finally, I'm here to appeal to everyone. Let the government do what it does. Let the government not do what it is not doing, because I really have no hope from this government anymore. Given the way it has demonstrated complete indifference, not just indifference, it's complicity in promoting violence. They want it. I don't have much expectations from this government, but everyone else can come together. The one thing that we must not do is to take sides. Even in saying this one has suffered more pain than the other, even that should not be done. It is a tragedy that affects everyone. It cannot be put on a weighing scale, more or less. No, everyone has suffered. I say this because some of my friends in moments of enthusiasm begin to do this weighing of this. This one has suffered more, this one has caused more pain to the other, etc. No, we don't need to do that. In the last few months, every time there is some thawing of relationship, something happens to again put the things on a reverse gear. Again and again this is happening. I just want to underline the fact, when I speak to my friends in Manipur, and there are many, not just my friend Bimal, who I have known before he became a politician, we worked together in an office, in an institution. And Bimal, I must say to you directly, I'm so proud of the speech that you made at midnight. This is one of the historic speeches that would be remembered in this country for what it said about the relationship between the Northeast and the rest of this country.
Our Prime Minister remained mute, not even a word. This silence is not normal. It is a reminder of the fact which many scholars have said, that there is a continuity between colonial and the post-colonial period. Today we are observing a day where we begin a new criminal laws seemingly discarding the colonial heritage. I must ask these questions to the House. Is this silence communicating to the people of the Northeast and Manipur in particular that you don't matter in the Indian state scheme of things? Major Laisam Jotin, who was awarded Ashok Chakra while grappling with suicide bomber, was a Manipuri, who was awarded Ashok Chakra. You are dishonoring his own state. Major Ngangom Joy Datta, who was awarded Veer Chakra while fighting for this country and doing his duty as a part of the peacekeeping force in Sri Lanka in 1987. You are dishonoring this man. You are dishonoring the likes of the youths who hold the tricolor in international platforms. The likes of Mary Kom, Sarita Kunjarani and Mirabai Chanu. You are saying that you don't matter in this country. Your state doesn't matter in this country. You are also saying that the likes of Ratan Tiam, the icon of the culture of this country, Harivam Sham Sarma, don't matter in this country. If you have an iota of concern for this state, there would not have been a silence.
This is one of the historic speeches that would be remembered in this country. When I speak to my friends in Manipur, they say relationships are thawing, they are coming closer. But they say, I don't know what happens the moment we start coming closer, something happens to break it once again. Something is at work, we don't know what. We have to identify that. We, all of us, have to take responsibility. If the government fails us, we cannot fail our own country. We have to come together. And with that appeal and with the assurance on behalf of the Bharat Jodo Abhiyan, which is a confluence of people's movements all over the country, my colleagues are working in Manipur, in different parts of Manipur, coming from outside Manipur to work within Manipur. So on behalf of all those movements, and I see many movement friends of mine sitting here as well, on behalf of all of them, I offer you unconditional apology and an unconditional offer of support for this activity of creating a thaw and hopefully creating peace. Thank you very much.